Join the circle of Titos and Titas, like and subscribe to our channel for more retro gaming goodness. Greetings everyone, Tito Kevin here, and this is the Please Bring Back series where we feature one game or one series that would be a great fit for a remake or remaster. The technology of this era has paved the way for gaming classics to break their way into the new world, and for Titos like us, it's a marvel to see games that we grew up with rejuvenated with a fresh coat of paint. Sadly, some games remain unnoticed due to a wide variety of reasons, such as not selling enough copies, being stuck in development hell for a number of years, developers shutting down production, and a whole lot of things. It's our mission to bring these games to light so that by some chance it may get the attention it deserves. Today, we're going pig hunting with the pink-haired feral child, Tomba. Tomba is one of the platforming classics that you most likely never played. Created by Tokuro Fujiwara, who was mostly known for his work on Ghosts and Goblins, Commando, and Mega Man, he established the company Whoopee Camp, who handled the development of Tomba. Originally released for PS1 in December 1997, it received mostly positive reviews, praising its progression system and gameplay, which capitalized on a mix of 2D and 3D platforming, which was not a common theme at the time. The initial success led to a sequel, which was released in 1999, mostly to positive reviews once again. Unfortunately, the game was unable to sell enough copies and was ultimately discontinued. Talk about your unlucky break for this game. The platforming genre is really a competitive place, and it's really hard to get noticed unless you're an Italian plumber, a blue hedgehog, or a spinning bandicoot. Tomba is a light-hearted series that doesn't take itself too seriously. Despite settling in harsh living conditions and having your land cursed, the game still finds a way to make the island dwellers worry more about Tomba's pink hair and joke about it. Also, the main character's simplistic and optimistic disposition is a refreshing sight compared to the emotional edgelords of some games. You know who I'm talking about. Your main objective in the first game is to retrieve your grandpa's lost bracelet, and the second game sends you on a quest to look for your girlfriend. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, not really, because as you explore your home island looking for what you've lost, you suddenly find yourself in the middle of a war between island dwellers and the 7 evil pigs that have cast their spell upon individual areas in the game. As any good protagonist would do, you continue on your journey while fighting your way through hordes of anthropomorphic pigs and ultimately saving everybody in the process, all in a day's work. The movement for the game is mostly side-scrolling, but it gives you an option to go back and forth between the foreground and the background and access them as separate parts of the same area. This type of movement that combined 2D and 3D elements was quite unique at the time, so this was what really stood out for Tomba. They carried this formula over to the second game, and it was still able to transition well even in an all-new 3D environment. The most unique and interesting part of the game is its game progress. Unlike popular platforming games back then that usually track your progress by going through different stages and levels, you progress to Tomba by the completion of in-game events. This can be done by interacting with your environment and certain NPCs that require your assistance. These events made it really fun to explore, and it added that layer of mystery to the game. All the areas in the game are intertwined, and you unlock specific areas as you progress and encounter more events. So leaving no stone unturned in this game really pays off. It also makes the game completion feel less of a chore and more of an adventure. Fighting those pesky pigs and other creatures can be done by using a wide range of weapons, hammers, blackjacks, or boomerangs. But my personal favorite is by comically jumping on top of a pig, biting them and throwing them forward. Because, you know, bacon. Boss fights with the 7 evil pigs are also quite a treat and an experience here. As I mentioned earlier, you need to bite on the pigs and jump on their backs, right? So this is also part of the boss fight. But hilariously enough, you need to throw them inside specialized bags. These bags can be found all throughout the island, and if you are able to throw them enough times inside the bag, you'll be able to seal them forever and liberate the specific area that they cursed. Speaking of evil pigs, Tito Mitz, what else can you say about this game?
Wait, what do you mean when you said speaking of evil pigs? Anyway, let's talk about the game's witty soundtrack. Harumi Fujita and now Hatsutani truly did a wonderful score for this game. Each area in the game is brought to life by its accompanying soundtrack. It has an overarching tropical theme, but each area has a unique quality that is fully represented by their aesthetic and theme music. Bask in a mysterious aura of mushroom forest, or sit back and listen to tranquil sounds of Baku's village, complete with chirping birds, of course. Each note adds character to an already rich landscape. The music also changes to certain areas from the time they are under the evil pig spell to the time that they were liberated. It's these small details that help you feel the game progression better. The game art for Tomba 1 and 2 was also a visual wonder at the time. The bright palette really makes the tropical themes of the island stand out. It does not shy away from the darker shades and landscapes though, as the eerie scenery of the place such as the underground mines and haunted mansion are reflected accordingly in the game's backdrops. Rendered in mostly 2D in the first game, it was able to take advantage of this platform and was able to successfully build a little world in the little nook that was Tomba's homeland. The second game was able to use its 3D capabilities to flesh out more areas, and they were able to design the games better to support the platforming aspects of the game. The developers at Whoopee Camp were able to squeeze all of this content given their technical limitations at the time. So imagine what the game would be like today. It would make for a more immersive experience, and it would be more fun and challenging to uncover and complete events. Just imagine, Tomba rendered in today's graphics similar to Crash Bandicoot, but it gives you the exploration capabilities of a Castlevania game, but with the light-hearted fun of a Mario game. Wouldn't that make for an interesting formula? Compared to today's releases, the event system and game progression would still prove interesting and would still be a breath of fresh air for today's audiences. I would suggest more intuitive clues to some of the puzzles though, as there are some points in the game that leave you totally clueless on what to do next. Some improvements that we would like to see are more weapons for Tomba. The Blackjack is his signature weapon, and the upgrade feature was awesome as it allowed you to combine different weapons. This is something that we would like to see more if the game ever gets picked up for a remaster or remake. The game transitioned to 3D in its second installment, and it was able to do a good job, but it would be ideal to take a step back and take hints from games such as Hollow Knight and Bloodstained. Fully rendered modern backdrops and elements, but it preserves the side-scrolling and platforming gameplay that made the game awesome in the first place. With platforming games still making waves in today's industry, Tomba would be a great game to revisit as it had a timeless appeal and engaging gameplay that didn't get to reach as many people as it should have. Would you also like to see our pink-haired hero to be remade or remastered? What other games would you like to see being remade or remastered in the future? Let us know in the comments.